I always go 3, 2, 1, but I don't need a countdown. You guys ready? Welcome back, Mind Bully Podcast, a podcast focused on beating the hell out of your negative voice. If you have a negative voice that says, hey, if I go and I show up to a football game, I should show up as a shell of myself. No, that's where we're focused on beating the hell out of that voice. I am the host, Norris Odiase, a fine young black brother from Fort Worth, Texas, by way of Nigeria, because I'm Nigerian. To my right, I have Mr. Jalen Johnson. To my other right, extreme right, Jeremy Galeeland. And now you guys can introduce yourself again.
What's going on? It's good to be here again.
Galeeland.
That's it?
That's me, bro. Galeeland. Hyped up, ready to go.
Did I get it right?
No.
Damn.
And you know
bro.
you did it.
He heard the
No, that's
I
rude.
tried to make it
He
easy.
heard it.
No. Okay, no.
That's okay.
Can you tell me your name in the right way, please?
Hello, this is Jeremy Gillen, like Dylan with a G.
Okay, spell his.
Gillen.
Please spell your name.
You spell it Gillilan.
No, that ain't like Dylan. That ain't like
It's
Dylan.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that's rude.
Those
I
Irish
hate,
can't-
I
the
hate
Irish
messing
can't
up
spell.
somebody's name. I'm not like that. I apologize. On air, on camera, I'm sorry.
It's forever on the internet. You
Yep.
slandered me.
Yep.
Do
I
you,
don't-
do you accept my apology?
We don't get it
Ruined
back.
the family
Yeah,
name.
of course I accept your apology, man. It's good to give forgiveness. Give
Yeah.
forgiveness. Yes, sir.
Today, okay, fellas, I'm not gonna lie. You listening, you here, we've changed location like 3 times. Green space, over there, over here. If you don't know, over there, over here, Red Raider Alley. We're here on the main stage, on the makeshift stage. But we've got it done in the makeshift stage, and thanks to you, to everybody that helped us get it done on the makeshift stage. Either way, big stage, little stage, it don't matter. The stage can change, but the show stays the same. I'm grateful and I'm thankful to close out this kind of partnership with Texas Tech, if you will, with these guys to my right, because I think, and I know rather, what we've able to accomplish, it's, again, I always say vision. Whenever you want to create something, do something, you have a plan to grow. I want to do this. There's a lot of people that don't actually do it when they face opposition, pushback. We faced quite a bit quite a bit of pushback, opposition for things that we're trying to build here. But just to start, I always start these with a check-in mentally, and I usually start it. Well, do I start it?
You do.
You're very selfish.
I don't want to start it this time. Check in 1 through 10 as we go. Obviously, do it with us. How you feel mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Let's go to my right with
All
Jalen.
right. So check in. Last week I was at probably like a 9 or something. I'm sure. I
You-
can't complain.
Yeah.
I can't complain. I'm mentally at a 10. I'm ready to take on whatever come my way.
What does a mental 10 look
A
like?
mental 10 look like this.
You can't beat them down.
Well,
Bro, it's nothing they can do to me
Superman.
that ain't already been done.
Yeah.
Hey, I woke up this morning, I'm here. It's game day.
What-
We in Raider Alley.
What's been done then? Like, what's been done that took you down, and how did you get back to a 10?
Oh,
Because
what's
again,
been
10 is. I'm not a 10. I wish I was at a 10. Can you please help me get to a 10? Like,
I can show you the ropes, bro. I can show you the ropes, bro. You can come to camp with me. You can come to mental camp with me, bro.
Mental
Hey,
camp.
it's nothing.
If
It's
I
nothing.
came to
I
mental
can show you the
camp,
reps.
what-
I can show you the ropes.
what would you be telling me to get to a 10 though? What practically though?
It wouldn't be
Because-
me telling you nothing. It'll be me showing you the way, showing you how to just be optimistic, more optimistic. Because I know you're optimistic, brother.
Right.
However, that's what it's all about, bro. If you let them defeat you or whatever you're going through defeat you and you showing it and stuff like that, bro, you losing. So just come out, be yourself. You know what I'm saying? To the best of your ability, and you whatever you want to be. Honestly, I'm a 10, and I can tell you why. Because, like I say every week, bro, I'm prayed up. Regardless, I'm prayed up every day, multiple times a day. If I feel any type of intrusive thoughts, guess what I'm doing? I'm praying about it.
Right.
I'm praying about it, bro. Who? I know you can help me, however, but who's gonna help me better than the man upstairs?
Right,
You know.
right.
So when times get tough, that's all I turn to. And my aunt just had a 60th birthday party.
There we
I
go.
had my whole family out
60th
there.
and auntie.
You know, first time MCing. So it was a great experience. So I'm growing as a human, as an adult, as a young man. So I'm feeling happy about it.
And it's like when you have these opportunities to build something, to start something, you saw yourself on the stage over there.
Yeah.
you get out of your shell and you're like,
Yep.
vision again. It's seeing. It's sight beyond seeing. I don't care what I see. It's like what I feel. What you want to do. What you want to accomplish. It's. I always say it, like vision comes from the heart. It's building, it's growing, and you were able to MC at your grandma's 60th, and people gave you the validation. So that's amazing, Mr. Jeremy. What about you, 1 through 10?
Hello. Yeah. Last Thursday, I was sitting at a 9.9 that I got to go down to Austin, watch the United States national team, soccer team play and win against Trinidad and Tobago. Just a surreal experience, great time, cool stadium, even better food. And I failed to go to Kat's camp of mental fortitude because I plummeted deeply from the 9.9. And yesterday, I remember I was texting you, I probably had a 2, and that really hasn't gone anywhere. To spare the details, just a lot of family stuff right now, a lot of concerns in our family, and just trying to navigate that. Being 5 hours away from my nearest relative, it's just really hard on me, but still happy to be out here, still happy to be a part of the show, and get to watch football on a Saturday is going to be kind of a win for me, to have that kind of mental reprieve. Yeah, bro.
I know your family will want you to be hugging somebody and letting, bro,
You ain't
I
lying.
got your back.
You ain't lying.
I got your back, bro.
Thank you for sharing that
For
with us,
sure.
bro.
We
And
family.
I think it does take strength to actually want to do what we're doing, and it takes a lot of will. And like you said, I told you somewhere else and you had to walk here. So even the added physical strength that it took to come here, thank you. But nah, just to your story, your journey now, it's how do you cope with that? Because it's challenging, right? And I have no idea what you're going through, and I have no idea what you might be facing, but how do you continue to want to come behind here and pour into other people when you know that back home you have your real life? Like what is driving you still, even though you're at a 2?
In a way, it's the accountability of it all. I've agreed to be a part of this. Makes it sound contractual. I really love being a part of this, but I agree to be a part of this, and so even though something is going on really out of my control, this is a stable part of my week where, okay, I know what this looks like. I know what I'm going to do. And you did have me wandering in the desert, but I got here.
Yeah.
I got here. It wasn't no 40 years, but I got here. And no, so like being able to have that accountability for you guys kind of helps pull me out of the funk. It's easy to seclude, especially when you're really far away from your loved ones, how far away from family. It's easy to kind of seclude away and then hold on to those emotions and make them bigger than, not to invalidate them, but make them a lot bigger than they should be. Mm-hmm. And so having this is a really good way for me to kind of keep those in the box, like they're still valid and real, and I'm going to unpack and deal with them in time as time goes on. But, having this as a responsibility does help me kind of pull out of that.
Yeah, thank you again. I appreciate it. I think the responsibility aspect, again, it shows your character, your values. A lot of people are like, hey, bro, I'm not feeling it, I'm gone. And I would respect that, because you never know what somebody goes through. But the fact that you still showed up, man, like these guys were asking, where's Jeremy? I'm like, he's going to be here taking his time, but I honestly, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
For me, 1 through 10, honestly, like, I'm bro, I always say there's a cop-out.
Let him use you.
There's a cop-out to say 8, 7, or 8, but I'm like a 8. And I say 8 because I'm happy, I'm content, man. Again, vision. I've been able to partner with my university to bring on this. And even though I'm so ambitious, and I'm like, bro, they should see, like, bro, this is an asset. We're a partnership, not a one-way street.
Right.
In the past weeks, I was upset. You see me, like, frustrated. But now, even when things go crazy, I'm kind of like, all right, it's going to work out. Because, one, the vision, and 2, it's twofold. Like, I'm saying this, but would I be saying this if I didn't see what it was?
Right. You see the potential.
So it's like, I don't know. I'm grateful again for people to care about people's stories, because again, I'm here to showcase everybody's journey, everybody's stories, to highlight and amplify the voices that don't really get heard, and to do it and fly in every week. This is week 6 of doing that. It's been amazing. It's been amazing to do it, and you, Jalen, you literally just came to the first show, and then you ended up being on the show. I hit up you randomly, you came on the show. So like, even reflecting on this journey, it's been really cool. It's been a moment, and I don't know, like, obviously for me, obviously this kind of podcast and this environment is different, but I'm a challenged type of push.
It's unorthodox.
Yeah, and for it to be able to work, I don't know, maybe I'm in what the kids call it. I'm a kid anyway. The simp mode. I'm in real
I don't
like.
believe in that.
I don't
Yeah,
think so.
exactly. I'm in a real emotional state because I'm grateful, man, and I believe God gives us traits, and to be able to showcase them, it's cool. So,
Yeah.
And what better platform to showcase your traits?
you
You
hear?
feel me? And I got a question for you. So what's keeping you from that 10?
Oh, damn, that's a good question. Damn, that's a good question.
I really want to know because like every week I come in and I'm like at 9. I'm at a 9, like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm seeing the beauty and what we really got
Maybe.
going on.
Yeah, maybe like part of me, my mind belief, my negative voice critic is like, I don't want to say I'm a 10 because people, and like in me, like me, I don't care about what people think, but like maybe if I say a 10, you're like, it's almost like there's no way you're a
No
10.
way.
I don't know.
But like when you
No.
got the right people around you, bro, it's possible. It's
Yeah.
very possible. Like for instance, my support system is like crazy, and it baffles me when I notice like that other people don't have that same type of support system.
What do they do for you that's crazy?
Oh
like
man, what don't they do?
Yeah.
They'll go to war with me if I give them a call, and I'm not even talking about like no violent war or anything like. Any type of war.
Yeah,
If I
he's
said, hey,
not
we
killing
got a
people with
cooking,
my
we
yeah.
got a cooking challenge coming up on Saturday.
They pulling up.
They pulling up.
That's
yeah.
mine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. And part of this, I want to transition to even like just reflecting as we are. Your mom, your people came to the like that's
Exactly.
lit. Like
That's
some of the
cool, yeah.
pictures I was going through,
That's
and just
cool.
to have them there, like that's dope. I see
Memories,
that.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
as soon as he's on the beat, I'm pulling up, and I don't know.
It just warmed me up, bro. And I can't complain about any of it, bro. So that's why I give myself a 10, because I'm here.
Yeah.
And I made it safe to love it, you know. And I got people counting on me, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
So whether
accountability,
they like
yeah.
they looking, watching, whatever, I'm a 10. And if I'm not, I'm gonna act like I am until I get there for real.
Until-
you feel me?
until
I'm
you
gonna
get
pray
there,
about it,
for
bro.
real.
That's the
Part of
thing
this,
I can do.
not to cut you off, we should be talking about the game.
For sure.
We also, after this, we have two nice young ladies joining the show. But to end this year, as I kind of ramp up, you know, this weekend has been a good week for Texas Tech sports. As in general, the girls basketball team, I watched them. Who says people don't pull up? I pull up. We kicked their ass, Commerce by 100. And then I moseyed on over to women's soccer as they played Princeton last night, and they got the dub in a penalty shootout, which is crazy,
That's
which we'll
intense.
talk about here in a second,
That's
to
intense.
end your season on that.
Not even ended it. Not the ending.
They
And-
ended
and then
Princeton's
Princeton's
season.
season.
Oh, well,
ended on that,
yeah. Not ours, baby.
So 2 dubs in a day, and today we're trying to go for the trifecta.
Trying to get that triple crown.
When it comes to this game against UCF, fellas, I'll start on my extreme right, Jeremy. Just what do you think it takes? And we said this last year. Well, not last year. Hopefully not last year because we were winning last year. Last week. And you got your prediction wrong, by the way. That, oh, why do you think we're going to win? And he was like, we're not. He got
That's
his
last
prediction wrong. So I'll have him start.
Against TCU right now.
Why are
TCU.
we going to win against UCF, against TCU 2 weeks ago? Either way. Why
Now
do
he's
you think-
making me pick win. He's not even giving me a chance.
There we go.
He's not even giving me a
Okay,
chance.
Jeremy.
But I
Are
got
we,
you.
are we going to win this game or not?
We're going to win this game. We are going to win this game
There we
today.
go.
And I'll tell you why. So,
Yes, sir.
both Texas Tech, UCF come into this game 5-5, desperate for bowl eligibility.
Yep.
This is one of the 2 options that you have. And for Texas Tech, it's UCF and or Texas. You want to get that bowl eligibility in front of your fans at home, and you can cruise into that game in Austin with a little bit of like, okay, like I'm going to the bowl game,
Right.
so this ain't nothing to me. Like I can play loose, and that's the kind of game that you need to beat Texas.
Yeah.
But when it comes to UCF, they had a huge win against Oklahoma State, like debilitating, like 45-3 or whatever. It was
Yeah.
nasty win there in Stillwater. So they're feeling really good. I'll tell you this though, UCF just ain't ready. They just ain't ready
For that what?
for that Red Raiders.
And I think so as well because senior night, it's throwing everything out there. A lot of
sir.
seniors. I've been in that mode, behind the eyes of those players. Oh, this is the last time I'm playing in my city with my fans. Like, I'm gonna leave it all out there. It don't matter if we playing them Dallas Cowboys. We're gonna kick that ass because of it means more. Your spirit, your energy, your vitality's in this game. We're gonna get the dub. What do you think? What's your score prediction on tonight's game?
That score prediction. I told him I'm gonna start being more accurate with my score predictions, bro, because people gonna stop believing in me. So here we go. Score prediction for this week. Texas Tech will defeat UCF. The score will be
Bro, hurry!
You gotta count it.
42 to 21. It's gonna be 42-21.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
It's senior night, baby. We in Lubbock. It's game day. Hey, bro. No nuts, no glory.
No nuts, no glory. Okay, I like that. 42-21. I'll go 27-21. Good guys. Just because I think the defense will show up this game for sure.
Yes,
for
sir.
sure. Our defense is solid.
That ain't the question.
Yeah.
So
That
you
ain't
don't
the
think the
question.
offense gonna show up?
That's why I put it at a 27. I think that's
27 is
good
more than you
scoring.
scored lately, so
Yeah.
that's good.
So
You're
what
going
he's
in the right
saying is
direction.
People blood pressure is finna be up. If you got blood pressure, take your medicine
No,
now.
better.
Are you a Texas Tech fan or not, bro? It's like,
Nah,
I
you
said
should have took.
42.
I'm not gonna lie,
Keep the
you
party
should have took that yesterday. Bro, that team, what they did to them Oklahoma boy.
yes, sir. This is nasty.
But we step on stuff.
And you know what's crazy about that? Their defensive coordinator, David Gibbs. David Gibbs was the defensive coordinator here. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
My brother.
They coming in with some extra.
They coming in with some extra sauce.
Okay,
chill.
Jeremy, I'm gonna ask you this, bro.
Yeah.
Because I kind of cornered you and said, "Tell me why we're gonna win."
You do that.
Just give me your honest opinion. If you don't think we're gonna win, say it.
Bro,
No.
last time you told him to be honest, he did that stuff. He did
I
that.
got the boo. No, I do mean it that I think that Texas Tech has the clear advantage here. Playing at home, it's on senior night. We're both for bowl eligibility. But Texas Tech has a lot more talent depth-wise when it comes to this team, especially defensively. Oklahoma State, I don't know what happened in that game, but they just outcoached Oklahoma State. I do think that defensively, we're not giving up 45 points against UCF. If we do, I can't believe it. But love that. But I do think I'm kind of aligned with you. I think that this offense can pull out some stops. If Baron Morton's feeling better, which supposedly he is, I think we can get 27. That's not too crazy. I do think you can keep UCF. Jarvis Plumlee is a good quarterback, but he's still struggling, and they're not doing well on the road. So I think it can be 27-17 is kind of a safe bet for me.
I feel that.
Yeah.
You know,
I like that.
I feel that. I was gonna say 42-17, but I ain't just want people to leave the game early.
As we transition, fellas, thank
Let's
you
go.
for this early session. I'm gonna have my two ladies come on.
Got you. You want me to take a step down?
Yeah, both
I'm
of y'all.
juiced up. I'm pissed off for greatness, y'all. I'm pissed off for
He
greatness.
said he's pissed off for greatness.
Yes, sir.
Ladies to my left, if they're over there, Shelby and Miss Bridget. As you guys, as I wave them, I want the camera to come on.
Yes, sir.
Because I think for this moment, for this show,
Yes, sir.
it's important. We just talked about our men's football team. But I think the best way to keep it rolling is to come off a high. And us as a university, we should be on a high right now because what I watched, and I wish I knew the soccer complex, who was it named after, but when I saw that John Walker soccer complex was something special. And I've never seen that many people. And just to start, I have these lovely ladies that make me look like a shell of myself, and I'm okay. To introduce yourself, thank you for joining the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for having us. I'm Shelby. I'm with the Seeing Scarlet podcast. We cover all Texas Tech sports, but do a really heavy focus on women's sports because there's not a lot of people covering them on campus, and they deserve it. So that's kind of my role here. I'm just hyping up the teams. Love Lawrence. He does the same thing for Tech athletics. So that's kind of what we do with Seeing Scarlet. And then this one over here is an actual Texas Tech legend over here. So let her introduce
Legend,
herself.
that's a bit much. No, I'm Bridget Rogers, formerly Bridget Jenkins. I played Texas Tech soccer from 2011 to 2014. I was on the previous team that made it to the Sweet 16. I now am the analyst for the Texas Tech soccer team, so still super involved with the team, still in Lubbock. And I mean, if you would have asked me 10 years ago if I was here, I would have been here. I would have never guessed.
Really? And for me, I the type of guy I am. I'm ADD. I jump everywhere. I ask
Hey, I'm right there with
all
you.
type of questions. Cool.
Well, this might be an interesting podcast.
Thank
then.
you. Okay, just to start with you, Shelby. Why is it so important to showcase these stories? Because what you do, if you guys don't seeing Scarlet everywhere. Their logo is beautiful. They have such a great niche, and part of like building your own thing, Mind Bully Podcast, is like, dang, who's my niche? Who's my niche? Either way, I don't know how to say it. One or the other. You're like, dang, who is my audience that I'm speaking to? They speak to young dreamers, and it's great because you touch on all like younger Red Raiders faithful, like little ones right there. As I'm speaking, I see one like getting held by two older
Struggling
ladies,
over there walking.
like a little baby with a jersey on. They speak to so many ages of young Red Raiders to be, and they speak specifically to women's team. It's awesome what you've been able to do, and you and your co-host, you do a great job of showcasing our Red Raiders in a perfect light, like a beautiful light. What made it so important for you to do that and pour so much in it to it without really the backing to do so?
Amen. I have a sports background, so I worked in sports media for a while, and then when I got out of that, I just had a lot of free time doing what I do, and this opportunity came about, and there was a need for it. And so I played sports growing up, and very briefly in college. I don't want to hear that story, but so I understand the need for promotion, especially on the women's side, and Tech Athletics does a pretty good job, but the diversity is not there. So they'll put out the game previews, and they'll say when the games are, and they'll do stuff like that. But what we try to do is be diverse in the promotion. So we like the stories. I'm a huge believer. I'm a journalism background, school here for Tech, Mass Comm. You have to tell the stories to get people engaged, especially in sports like soccer and other ones that in Texas, they're football.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to get someone to go see a sport that they maybe don't think they understand or they don't want to watch, you have to give them something to be engaged in. Like, I think sports fandom is really about engagement and community more than anything. There's a lot of people that love football that really don't understand football, but they love it because of all of this.
Yeah.
And so if you can try to create that for all these other sports, they become fans of it. So that's what we try to do. And ours is like, hey, these athletes, they're awesome competitors. Learn who they are as competitors, as people. You're going to want to go watch them. Learn who the community is. We try to create conversation online, and that's what we've seen is like, there's people that never watched soccer this year. This team is awesome.
Yes.
She can tell you all the details of that, but that have started watching soccer for the first time because they're like, we saw you tweet about it, and it seemed like you're having a good time, and you wanted to check it out. And that's what we do. So we're trying to create community engagement the way that you see in other sports, because that is, in my opinion, is how you create these rabid fan bases.
Right.
Texas Tech fans. We saw it last night at John
Yes.
record. So
Yeah.
the biggest crowd in soccer history out there. So that's kind of what our role is, if that makes sense. We just saw the need for it, and I'm just one of those people that's like, I have the background, I know how to do this. Why don't we just do it? And my co-host, who's not here, she's awesome. People are watching. Is the best hype you could ever meet. She's so hype. Y'all two in a room together was like break windows.
You guys do a great job for you, Bridget. When you, kind of a different question, as she was talking, I was just thinking like, now that you've transitioned to really calling your Red Raiders, where you played, and it's always different, because when I come back, taking it to me for a second, when I come back, you're like, oh, North, you probably get the same thing, and you're calling your team, who you're passionate about.
Right.
If you were to take me back, and this is all over the place, to Keller,
Yeah.
the young you,
Yeah, very young.
what is that kid, like if you were behind the eyes of that kid, what was the reason you picked up the sport of soccer in the first place?
Oh man, I was really just a kid that loved running around everywhere. I got started on soccer very, very early, and it's funny, when I initially started playing soccer, you start at a recreational level, then when you're about 10 years old, you go play at a club level. And so I was the player who was playing in our Skechers, in our tennis shoes. I didn't wear cleats or anything, but I just loved the game. I wanted to play, and
What did you think you were going to do with it? Like,
really, it was just all the different teammates I met along the way when I was young, and it was one of my best friends, actually. Her name's Allison. She, her dad was really into, getting her to that next level. And so I was like, yeah, I'll join the ride. And then from there, we just, my first club team was the Dallas Texans, and we were first in the nation. It was a big deal, but then, kind of ran into some burnout, really young age, really intense soccer for such a young kid,
what age is that?
It was about 11 or 12.
What was okay when you mentioned burnout? Again, everybody knows what that is.
Oh, yeah.
And you experience it, and it's heavy on you. And in that age, your impressionable age is when you see the other kids like they're doing just the easy stuff that I
Right.
would love to be doing,
Right.
and now I'm stressed, and now I'm
Right.
under. What were the symptoms of burnout? Because that's what it was. But
It's-
like,
oh,
how
yeah.
did you act? Because you were.
So I was just miserable. I didn't grow until like my freshman year of high school. So I was about yay tall while all my teammates were, hitting these growth spurts. And so, I wasn't getting the playing time. I wasn't able to keep up with the rest of the kids. I just wasn't happy anymore. Playing at that level, at that age, it was just so much pressure. And I just really couldn't handle it anymore. And like I was driving out to Dallas from Fort Worth, an hour and a half drive, multiple times a week, away tournaments all the time. It was just a lot for such a young age. So I quit soccer for about a year and then finally came back to it. Played for some local clubs that were close to Keller, Odyssey, lower level clubs.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just climbed the ladder again. Ended up at Sting, where Kenny Medina coaches. He's one of the top coaches in Texas, and Tom highly recruits from Sting. And went to a showcase tournament with my dad in Houston, and Tom called my coach, and one thing led to another. It's crazy. It's crazy how things work. It's God given. It is, because I really, getting recruited wasn't on my mind. I played the sport just to play, and I just really didn't even know what I wanted to do college-wise. And Tom came knocking on my door, and it was just heaven sent, I think. Really a blessing.
I'll get to you in a second, but that's the thing, like burnout, the next steps to do it.
Yeah.
It sounds like the values from your father placed in you that had you keep going. Because a lot of kids are like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I will never pick this up again.
Right.
And for you to see the game that you love, you were able to come to Texas Tech, get recruited, and now you're at the stage of you're a rock star athlete on the field. You reach the Sweet 16. After your career ends, the transition in that is
Very hard.
Very hard. And what is the biggest challenge, if you will, that you faced in your journey?
I mean, when you play a sport for so long in your life, it's your identity. You don't really know anything outside of that. When I was in college, my main focus was soccer. Kind of pushed school to the side because I was just all in soccer.
Right.
I played center back, what Hannah Anderson plays, so she's, obviously I idolize her, she's amazing. But I have so much respect for her in the position and the grind that it takes, But, I mean, as soon as you graduate, it's kind of like, okay, well, I've got to face the real world, what am I doing? And so I ended up going to grad school, I got my master's in sport management, got an internship with the Cowboys, was in event ops with them, really trying to find my niche, whatever it's called.
In fact, yeah.
But no, I eventually came back to soccer, and it's been the best decision I've made in a long time. It's my identity. I coach the youth of Lubbock now at the high school level. I love it. I'm still involved with my alma mater. I don't think I could ask for a better life at this point. I've got a beautiful 6.5-month daughter. I've grown up, and I'm bringing the traditions to my family, and my husband grew up in Lubbock. It's just, everything kind of comes together, and you just don't see it once you're in that spot of stressing when you graduate. You're in all of this confusion, and then finally it just comes together. It's amazing.
Everything comes together, like she
Eventually.
said. You mentioned something, and I'll go to you, and you can open this up. You mentioned something beautiful. You idolized the center back, Miss Hannah Anderson.
Yeah.
When you cover this team specifically that went out and won like they did last night, what are you proud to cover about their team? Like, what excites you about our team?
Yeah, I think it's so easy to cover this team, and so proud. Being proud is the right word because of how they play. Like even last night, you just felt like, okay, they're gonna find a way. It was a game. Princeton played great. It was close. We go to PKs, and you're like, we're gonna find a way. And you're sitting there, and you can look back at all these times this year that they've done it, and they've scored late. And you have someone like Hannah Anderson, who she talked about. She plays center back. Center back, in my opinion, I do not play soccer, but in my opinion, watching it and covering it is one of the hardest positions in all.
Is it like
in all of sports?
if you're familiar with football, is it like a safety, like the last
line of defense?
Yeah, basically,
but
yeah.
If everybody on the team was running at you at one time instead of just like your
Yeah, oh god.
Yeah. So, and you have the keeper back there and all that. So, she's a great leader. They're just really good in the mental. You've watched some of this team. You will love this team. Their mental, I've talked about it all year, is some of the best I've ever been around. I've been around like pro athletes and college athletes that have won championships and all this stuff. And talking to them and watching them play, they're so good mentally. They're just so good, and that's why even at playing against this prestigious program tomorrow, like UNC is it. She can tell you that. That's where like World Cup players come from, Olympians come from.
Yeah.
Also the best players. They're playing against them tomorrow. Even playing against them, you're like,
What is, but
we can beat them.
Of course we had a chance, but what does it feel like, Bridget, when you're behind penalty shootout and you can have your season end on like when I was there, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it's the worst way to lose a game, and I
Yes.
am heartbroken for Princeton because, like I said, but it just kind of is a testament to it shows how good both teams played. I mean, they came out with a draw. There was opportunities on both sides. It was an exciting game. It was phenomenal. But like I said, the worst way to lose a game. And I'm up there in the booth with Jeff, and he's trying to get me to talk during these PKs, and I'm sick to my stomach. I'm like, he keeps looking at me, and I'm like, no,
Really?
man. Oh yeah, and he keeps trying to ask me questions. I'm like, I can't even. I'm like looking down. I can't watch these PKs. So.
When you're getting emotional behind, and if I was calling that game, I would have been like the same way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shut up. Like,
Oh, yeah.
like when you're behind and you're watching this team, what are you thinking? Like, obviously you want your team to pull it out, but like, get like the inside scoop. If I'm behind the eyes, and like there was one, and there's a lot of fans that, even me included, I'm watching, I'm running from side to side because I wanted the best view.
Right.
Part of it watching, I'm like, why would I watch the team, like our goalie? I want to watch our offense.
Right,
Like,
right.
when you're watching that game unfold, like, what did you think it would come to? Like, what was the shift? Like, for me, I'm like, I don't want PKs. I don't want
Right.
PKs. I don't want PKs. And there was a possession where I thought we had a chance when she over on kind of towards.
Is Kylie Barr the
Yeah.
last couple minutes, got the ball, crossed it across the box.
Yes.
Ashley Williams, it went behind her, and then a miss hit from behind. It's just, I mean, that's a game of soccer, and that was their chance to end the game. But, I mean, behind the mic, you've got to be both-sided. You've got to go for both teams, and that's probably the hardest part. Because it's funny because what you hear is me and Jeff, hyping up Princeton and also hyping up Texas Tech, but anytime that Texas Tech does something well, I'm like, I have to apologize at the end of the game saying, sorry, Jeff, I kept punching your shoulder. Man.
Yeah.
You need some ice for that later. But it's hard. It's hard. It's nerve-wracking because, we've all been along the ride this whole season, and you don't want to see it to end. You don't want to see it end, especially on your home turf. And I was telling Shelby earlier, tomorrow's going to be a fantastic game because, I mean, if UNC plays the way they did yesterday versus the team we saw last night, Texas Tech, I mean, I'm rooting for Tech.
What's it gonna
obviously,
take for us to win in advance? What's it going to take?
They've got to have the same energy. A Sunday game is hard enough, and not getting that extra day of rest that they're used to is going to make it very hard. Players are beat up, players are exhausted, but you're going to have to come out with that same exact intensity. That motor is going to have to go all game because UNC, like we saw, subs on 7 players and subs off 7 players at a time, and they're equally as talented as the players that were on the field. So it's just going to be, you have to be on the entirety of the game. And what we saw last night, I mean, I have to give a shout out to Kylie Barr and Ashley Williams. I mean, Kylie Barr, that's probably the best game I've seen her play all season.
She saved the game late on that.
She did.
That shot in the goal.
Yes. Yeah, and she was hustling up and down that sideline. Her defense was phenomenal. I mean, Kylie really showed up last night. And then Ashley Williams was constantly getting back on defense, almost on our back line. And it's just crazy. Like, these girls they know what it takes, and it's evident on the field. It's evident, whenever you're seeing them hype each other up on social media. It's awesome to see that they're so bought in to the program and to the school.
They're very what's next all year. That's when they're saying. Like, even last night, that was a crazy win. I'm sure by this morning they're like UNC. Like, they're like over it.
Yeah.
They've done that all year, and we were to the point of, are they even going to celebrate being undefeated in the Big 12?
Right.
And thankfully, their parents brought confetti and tortillas at Iowa State and let them go crazy. But we were afraid they were going to be like, yeah, okay, cool. What's next? I'm like, you just went undefeated in Big 12 playoffs. You got to celebrate that for a little bit and then move on. But that is what makes them special.
And this is the whole point of this, is to show showcase not only their stories but you guys' stories. For you to have the passion, the discipline, to work past the burnout, for you to cover these teams. You came from North Carolina, now you're here.
Yeah.
You extended your stay till Sunday just because of this. I think that passion is what being a Red Raider is about. It's not just, oh, we love our team. It's we love our team with a little extra,
Right,
with
right.
some toughness,
Right,
with some
right.
grit, with some determination. When going back to you guys' story now, just to kind of close this, what is it? And I always ask every one of my guests that join my podcast, Overcome the Negative Voice. When you're a business owner and you don't put your link on your site for everybody to see what you're doing,
Right.
and you're doing C and Scarlet, and for you to be a mom and to
Oh, yeah.
transition and to be calling your team in the city that you played and all the variables that go in that, like, oh, what are you doing now? You're like, you got to explain everything.
Right,
Explain
right.
your life away.
Right.
When you think about overcoming the negative voice that comes to you in those moments, starting with you, how do you work practically to overcome your negative voice?
I think I've just been through a lot in life. Like, that's a long story for me that we do not have time for. But starting my freshman year in college was just not a great experience. And so I've been through a lot, probably more than a lot of people at that age. And so college was like so important for me to overcome that and get through that. And then just life, I've done a lot of things. You know, I've traveled the world. I live in North Carolina. I've moved all the way out there. So I think that's how I overcome it. I was not as good at it when I was 18 and 22.
Yeah.
I think just going through hard times and getting through those and knowing, so when something comes up now, I'm like, oh, I did that. Like,
Yeah.
I had to do that. Like,
Yeah.
I had to do this, and I've done this, I've done that, and all these crazy things. So when it comes to quitting my job that I had for 9 years and starting my business at the top of it, I was like, that's actually a cakewalk compared to what I've been doing. I can figure that out. Okay, let's do this podcast, whatever. Go to from North Carolina to Texas, I'll figure it out. It's fine. Like, so that's kind of where it comes for me is life experience and having that. I was not always good at it, but now I'm just a very positive person now because I always think like, don't say that about yourself. Like, you know, you did that. You can do this now. And I don't think there's anything in life that you can do, and people would say that's cheesy, but I truly don't believe. I believe that. Like, if I wanted to go be a doctor, I could go be a doctor. It would take me a long time.
Right.
I could go back to school and I could be a
Nah,
doctor.
for real.
So,
Yeah.
like, it just, it depends on where you are in life. It'll take you longer, but that's kind of what I do. But it's definitely not like I was born. It's
Yeah.
just, I grew through experiences in life. Sports definitely helped with that, but yeah, it's more food than anything. You did that.
Through experience, and you see the evidence of your past. What about you? Like,
I mean,
overcoming?
the same thing. I think life experiences built you to who you are. You know, like Shelby, I've been through a lot of hardships as well, and some things you never think you're ever going to get through. There's some things that you never think you're going to overcome, but when you do, you kind of face different situations mentally, and you're like, I've got this. You know, like she was saying, you just mentally, you know, you can't give up.
Right.
You've got, you know, at this point, you've got too many people that care about you to give up. And not only that, but I think a good support system is essential for that, and I 100% have that. My family, my friends, everybody, like, even my workplace, like, they're just, everybody's so supportive and helping. Like, if you're going through dark days, if you're having trouble with things, it's just, you've got to have that support system. And, you know, I've started, you know, I have some confidence issues, and recently I've just learned to start saying yes to opportunities. Like when Shelby texted me this morning about this, you know,
That's awesome.
I'm tired. I'm
Yeah.
tired from last night, but
Yes.
I'm tired with this freaking baby, man. She's keeping me up all night. It's just, you know, there's so many opportunities in life, and you're so blessed to have these opportunities. Like, why say no? Just take advantage, see where it takes you. Like Shelby moving to North Carolina, seeing what's going to happen for her, and now doing the podcast. Like, it's just so crazy. You just don't say no. Like, have confidence. Take that jump. Take that jump of faith, you know? It's going to lead you somewhere. You don't know what it's going to lead you to yet, but it's going to take you somewhere special.
It's gonna take you somewhere.
Be an advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Is basically what I care about.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
I think what you guys been able to share. First of all, thank you for joining. So off spare the whim, like so, we've changed so much. There's so much that was going in. I think it's essential for me to hear your story, for people that, not even just young women, young men, people in general, to hear your stories, why you do what you do, and the passion that you put into it. I think it's admirable, and I thank you guys for joining my podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having us. That was awesome.
Thank you guys. Well, as we transition, yeah. Thank you guys. As we transition, hello. Oh my God. Oh my days. I wish I could. If he was listening, I would come in. But good to see you. Anyways, yeah. Join. As we transition, yeah. It's a lot of different different changes and flips. As you know, we're outside. It's cold. The wind is hitting me. It's cold, and my lips are chapped.
Hey, I
As
got
you
something to fix all of that.
Can you show me?
Yeah, I got something to fix all of that.
Thank you. As we wait for the next guest, Mr. Josh Young, I'll put some Aquaphor on.
World Series champion Josh Young.
But fellas, as we I think I want to ask some questions. What happened?
You got some big lips there, brother. Let me go and get that back.
What did he say?
The corporate sponsorship stuff?
What did he say?
He said, he told me.
Who was it?
He left. I don't know where.
Bucho?
Huh?
What happened?
We're a corporate sponsor, so we can't be here. So I guess they said that since we're not a sponsor, we have to bounce.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, he told me that.
Bro, what if you put it here on the thing? We've been having it.
That's fine. What he's saying is the tent. They can do that.
Okay, yeah. Why don't we
We
do
can move
that?
it on the here.
Can we do that?
Yes. Yes. Oh, next shift we do it all. 'Cause I actually want some. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What is life? Sugar free.
Oh,
Energize of life. This sugar in it, ain't it? Go ahead and take one. Cheers it up.
cheers.
Where Jeremy? Oh, he ain't even cheers it, my boy. Oh man,
They say
this what I've been missing. No cap.
Remember, they're the one that helped us last week. They love the little gift cards that we got.
Juice.
But as we wait for our guests, thank you, ladies.
Yeah, that's a recipe.
I want to.
That's a recipe there. Oh, that's a cute baby.
Oh no way.
She got dark hair all over her, but.
Imagine
Zoom in on that
I need a
child.
kid.
if she really said hi.
Get us the close up of the child.
You would have dropped
I
it.
go
You
crazy.
would have dropped it.
I want to see the baby.
Beautiful,
Thank you so much.
man.
I want to see
Fellas, we got
Yeah.
a couple moments. I just want to. I told y'all
This
as we
document
talked
messed
about
up.
this week. This is a lax spot because everything else was structured. Last week was structured. The whole time was structured, which is good. But this week, we know you guys can hear y'all. They over there looking at girls. We still rolling. Y'all.
We talking about this.
She got that girl. She
No, he
Lock
said.
in, bro.
He said, "Did you put this in your cup?" I
I've
said,
been locked
"Yeah, I
in.
might get a tackle today. I'm gonna get a sack."
what it has you doing?
Jam's gonna run out
Remember
on the
last
field.
time when we was like,
Yeah,
when you had us up running for no reason.
yeah. That's what they got him
it
doing.
ain't no tailgate if
That's
it ain't
what
no
they got him
splash.
doing.
That's why they call him butter hands under the basket. And just put a.
He ain't popcorn.
Nah, hold on. We're not about to do that. He said butter hands under the bat. He took it personally.
I took
Yeah.
it
'Cause,
straight to the throat.
whenever people said stuff like after
Tell
a
him your
game,
hands stay
tell me
dry.
about, tell me
Not gonna
about
lie,
that. After a
actually.
game, we always like that's the thing. You go on and you type in your name. I would type in Lawrence.
Would you
or
really?
yeah.
Is that a common practice?
Yes.
You're just like, what are people
And if I
saying
missed the
about me?
layup, they'd be like, "No, this like get
He can't play, bro. He can't play ball.
I'd be pissed off.
I will vouch. They was on his head. He couldn't really say nothing back all the time, but guess who did? Me.
Jason,
I did.
yeah.
He acting like it
Big
happened
Ted.
all the time.
Nah. Well, they used to talk mess about y'all your freshman year. Bro.
What about me?
So,
That man can't shoot free throw. Nah, I'm playing.
so hey, I'll tell you this much though. So, in the soccer world, there is a Maradona, who is a very famous. Yeah, he was known. Maradona was known
Brazilian.
as no,
Oh,
Look at him.
Colombian.
Yeah.
Was known for the hand of God play, which is where he like ran up next to the goal and like jumped up, and if you slow the tape, he hits it with his hand into the goal. But they didn't see it because it was back in like the 70s, so they didn't have replay. So he got this goal, they won this game. Everybody's super pissed, everybody's super excited, but it was known as the hand of God play.
The hand of God
because he put his hand up there, right? So you, all the way up until, you had all this criticism, like, man, this guy can't shoot like a free throw.
who
but-
said, bro? No.
on.
He's
Hold on.
changing the narrative of my whole career.
I'm coming
here.
back to it.
All right,
No, be patient. Be patient, brother. Be
I'm like,
patient.
dang.
Be patient, brother. If there's one thing I'm good at is storytelling. So
Yeah, let him tell it.
you have a whole season and people, I mean, everybody, right? Everybody ups and downs, man. Hero, loser. Oh, you the best. You the worst. Hey, and then we get to the tournament and Norris is playing with a bum wrist in what was it,
Don't
Michigan
forget
State.
that bum feet too. Them feet was bad.
That's his whole life. But like, you know, I'm just playing. We get to the free throws against, was it Michigan State? We had the free throws, the big free throws, and Norris nails them both, and pretty much solidifies the game. Norris has his own hand of God moment where he got this bum wrist because he got hurt. It ain't his fault. He got hurt, but he said, you know what? I'm still gonna go out and get this.
I like
man,
it.
He got the hand of God moment himself.
The hand of God moment. I think he was referring to the national championship game that after this I will never mention again.
Oh, Virginia.
Yeah, I made the last
Virginia.
two. Yeah, the Virginia team made 2 free throws to kind of put us up, and then we kind of that game.
No,
hand
bro.
of God.
Michigan State. You were hand of God, not Michigan State, where we won the Final Four.
What? I think.
You don't remember. This man doesn't
That's
remember his own
That's
career.
the thing about my life, right?
Like,
I don't know about you two, right to my right, but the hand of God always on the key. Always blessed, beautiful, that type of moment. For you then, Jeremy,
Yes, sir.
if you were to think about your journey, what is your hand of God moment where you was like, dang, his hand's all over me? Like, what was your hand of God moment? As he, like, there's no shying away. I don't care about this part. He just handed me this. He said, lick your lip, lick your lip.
I'm a good man. I
I'm
didn't
like-
say it on the
I'm
mic.
like, bro, my
I
lips
just told
been
him.
good.
I tried to like mummer it, like, or is that a word, mummer?
Murmur.
Yeah. Sorry,
This
brother, I'm
man.
country.
Mum.
Goodness.
All right, what's your hand of God moment, Jeremy?
You really want to know?
Yes. Give me a hand of God moment. You're a good storyteller, but you can't come up with one on the whim.
No, I got it, bro.
Mr. Jalen, tell me your hand of God moment first then.
This moment right now,
Ooh.
best moment of my life. Look at that. Hand of God moment probably is this moment right here though, because like you said, bro, I just came and showed up and supported the first time, and it was just something about the kid that you just knew you couldn't go without.
Yeah.
You feel me? So now here I am in the middle seat.
Jeremy, what about you as our guest is here?
Oh, yes. Okay. My hand of God moment was I quit the football team my sophomore year. I had a 1.5 GPA. I was crying in the North Commuter lot, and the right person called me at the right time and put me on a new path that set me up for success. And with that, we can welcome on our guest.
Hand of God moment.
Yeah, I got a moment.
Okay,
Thank you.
Just to set the scene
Moment.
just a little bit as we transition, we be on here, from there. We had soccer.
Raise your voice a
Tell-
little bit.
The real football.
You gotta raise your voice a little bit though.
Why?
Let them know that what's really going on is going
But
on.
it's been
God,
going
you
on.
don't care about this podcast, man.
Anyways,
I need
we
the
had
energy,
Seeing
brother.
Scarlett and Bridget come on, and they told us about their stories, one, and why they care about, so passionate about not only the Lady Red Raiders, but us as a whole. They told us their story. And now I was back with my brothers, kind of recapping. But now, in this moment that I've been waiting for, that we've all been waiting for, we have our guest. They come on. As I'm doing this, you guys are supposed to be
I'm
vamos,
waiting.
go.
I'm to the
Leave.
brim.
Oh,
I'm
he
to
wants
the
us out.
brim.
He
Get
wants
off,
us out
though.
here.
Oh wait, you kicking us out?
Yes.
That's
No.
selfish.
No, but
That's selfish.
thank these guys. But the moment that I've been waiting for, we have our guest here. He's on time. Mr. Josh Young's on the show as I clap with my hands. Yay! What's good, bro? Good. Thanks for joining me. Anyways, Mr. Josh Young, how are you doing? I'm glad to see you here, bro. I'm glad to have you on the pod. First and foremost, I always get this squared away with you. One, being a Red Raider and where you came from, how I saw you and what you've become. Like it's awesome to see. It's inspiring to see. It's admiring. Like, so thank you for not only who you are, because it's so hard to reach a level that you have and to stay like you are, to stay level-headed. So just to start, I'm so grateful to have you on the show, bro.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that.
I always start this podcast, Mind Bully Podcast, Overcoming the Negative Voice, and I always start with childhood. So if somebody was watching this and to understand who you are and the passions you pursued and where you are, Texas Ranger, World Series champion, All-Star, going back to that kid, the 2-1-0, San Antonio, if I was behind the eyes of a young Josh, what would I see? Who was that kid?
You would have seen a kid in the backyard playing a lot of wiffle ball with himself, competing against his little brother in everything. It didn't matter what it was. We competed in everything. But just obsessed with baseball. And we played football too. We were obsessed with football. Basically, you put a ball in our hands, you just saw it. We were obsessed with it. And I mean, me and my brother just, as kids, that's all we did. We just played sports. We got our homework done, we were able to go outside.
Yeah.
We got our homework done, we'd go to practice. All that kind of stuff. It was literally just let's go all day long.
For me, right, when I'm an athlete, obviously we went here, and I played basketball, you play baseball, and you kind of grow up with that being the vision that you want to achieve. Oh, I want to be professional. Did you ever ask, because I'm a curious kid, I was there, did you ever question it, like, why? I love it, but why should I do this for my life? Like, if you were to think back, why did you think it was attainable to actually do something that you love as a sport professionally? Why did you think that was a thing?
You know, I think in all the dark days, when you're struggling, that comes up a lot. Because you have to remind yourself, why do I do this all the time? And for me, it's just because I love the game, truly. It's for the love of the game. Like, growing up, I was just big into it. I loved baseball, everything baseball. I literally was eat, sleep, and drink baseball. And then football was like my distraction there for like 6 months out of the year. But it was really just all about baseball.
Yeah.
And then I fell in love with A-Rod. He was my guy growing up. And then I fell in love with just the history of baseball. So like all encompassing all of that just kind of drove my passion to try to be the best player I could be, and that's just like a daily pursuit.
If you were to think of a moment, because for me, I remember the moment that I really kind of picked up the game was I watched my parents and my family, the joy behind their eyes watching Hakeem Olajuwon play. I'm like, I don't really love the sport, but I love the feeling that it makes them like feel when it's like entertainment, but it's encouraging. If you were to think of a moment that you were like, oh dang, like this is almost like euphoric, like this is why I love the game, because it's hard. We all love the game. But like, is there a moment in your life that made it turn for you? Like, okay, I love this.
I feel like there's moments almost every year where it just like reignites that passion. You see it just a little different in that split second. And probably the most recent one for me is obviously winning the World Series, going through that whole process. But like even like my debut last year after having to overcome the big shoulder surgery and missing pretty much 6 months out of the whole season, and you know, it's little things like that that just continues to grow your passion and to keep going. And even when, you know, you got that little guy on your shoulder saying you can't do something, you just go out there and you're like, no, I'm going to prove that guy wrong.
Yeah. When you have that little guy on your shoulder and it's talking to you and that voice is talking to you, and from your story, and I always say this, in adolescence, we're really impressionable from age 8 to 18. We're like, okay, we're doing what everybody else is doing. For you to stay locked in, focus, and grow with what you're going and doing, and you end up coming to a Texas Tech. When you're thinking about your journey and you have that voice and that pressure almost, how do you stay focused but then transition to a point of, okay, I got to do even more? Like, how do you keep growing knowing that you have that voice that keeps after you? Like, how do you balance that?
That's the hard part. That's something you have to do every single day. It's not just like, oh, I'm there. No, that voice comes back bigger, badder, and stronger, especially when you're struggling. Like,
what does it say to you personally?
I mean, it's crazy stuff. Like, some days it's like, man, can you even hit the baseball?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can, but right now I've struck out 16 out of 20 times, so maybe I can.
Yeah.
I mean, just the way sports are in general, like, you get better, the other team's adjusting to you. It's not, you're not just going to continue to do the same stuff and be successful all the time. The guy I was in college isn't the guy I am today, and the guy I was in high school isn't the guy I was in college. It's just continually growing and learning, and it's a daily pursuit. It's a daily, a change of adjustments. It's crazy. But yeah, when that guy starts talking, I try to talk over him.
Yeah.
I try to watch my highlight tape. That's a big thing. I make my own little highlight tape, and it's like, this is why I play. It gives me chills when you see big moments. Not even just my own moments, but just like big moments for our team, big moments for my brother, stuff like that just gets those goosebumps going. That's how I silence that little guy.
And it's so funny. Like, I saw something where you were like, when you're taking at bats, you talk to yourself.
Oh yeah.
and it's kind of what you're saying in your real life. You talk to it. Like, when you're strategically switching to baseball, when you're behind and you're talking to yourself, what are you saying? What are you talking yourself through? And how do you talk yourself through and then swing the bat? Like, how does that even work practically?
So it's all like little moments. It's for me, I'm reiterating my approach to myself, because that little guy gets on my shoulder, and let's say I swing at a bad pitch, or a pitch is called on me that I don't agree with, something like that. That little voice clicks in immediately. It's like, oh, you're down 0-2, you're going to strike out. For, hey, this guy's really good, you're not going to be able to hit this. And for me, to silence that little guy is to reiterate my approach. What am I trying to accomplish on this next pitch? And we have shot clock now in baseball, so you get 6 seconds to do that. So for me, it's before I dig in and actually settle in, I'm trying to silence that voice and just get to that neutral place in my head where it's just react time. Let's go.
React time. I jump all over the place with this podcast, but with you, there was something you also said when you were at Tech. You had big expectations. You had a great year, and then you came back, listening to all the expectations of everybody else on you and the perspective shifted. You put so much pressure on yourself. And kind of what you were saying in the interview that I saw was like, you would tell that person's perspective panning out. Like, what was that moment like coming back, knowing that you had that on? Like, how did you work past that pressure?
It took me about half the season to actually get through that. Tadlock and the guys moved me over to shortstop. Just a defensive change that they wanted to make just to see what would happen, and that's what actually freed me up to end up having a good season my junior year, which is crazy because I'm not a shortstop. I played shortstop my whole life. That's kind of how it is, right? Like in baseball, the best player plays short or center. And as you get older, like you start specializing in different positions and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, for me, it was that change helped free me up. Because it was like, oh, there's no expectations of me playing shortstop.
Right.
I'm just gonna go out and play, and that's what freed me up. But it is like you get so focused, and for me, it's like there's a little pebble, and you get so wrapped up on this little pebble that it starts looking bigger and bigger. And it's like, no, if I pan out, that pebble's so small. And in those moments where you do put that pressure on yourself, like this year, start the year, first 2 months, and rookie of the month both months, and then all of a sudden it's like, I got to do more. I got to do more. It's like, no, stay who you are. Just continue growing in the game. You don't have to do more. You don't have to try to be better than what you are right now. Just keep going.
I'm getting passionate because I'm the same way. Like, oh, do this. Like last week we were on the stage, and this week I'm like, damn, like, we got Josh and we're here. Like, it doesn't make sense that we're not there. But I'm like, be patient. It's a process. Those type of things. Right. How do you work your? Like, I have so many questions because you've accomplished a lot. And for me, I'm not too proud enough to say like, bro, that's inspiring. Like to see a Red Raider do that, and to like be. That's why I'm wearing the ring. Like I'm wearing my ring because I'm like, damn, well, I'm with a champ. Like what the hell? Like switching gears. You're like, what's the most your favorite moment of the season of being a professional of being everything that you are now? Like, what are you most proud of?
The postseason run we put on this year is what I'm most proud of. Especially the way we were leading the division probably 80% of the season. And then I got injured there in August. We went on a downward little spiral there where, I mean, it's baseball. Anything can happen on any given day. It doesn't matter, but I mean, it's every sport. Something can happen. You can be the best team, but it doesn't matter. It's the team that plays the best. It's not the best team. And in baseball, you play so many games that, you know, one little slip, next thing you know, you're falling down the mountain. You're just like, oh gosh, here we go. But for me, the way we ended the regular season, you know, the ups and downs the last month and a half, up 5 games, down 3 games, back in front, lost the division title the last day of the season to Houston, and getting ridiculed for all that kind of stuff, seeing all the negative backlash out there about that. And we had to go cross-country fight, literally from Seattle to Tampa, which is not short by any means. And on that flight, we all just kind of switched a gear. It was like, screw expectations, screw trying to be the best offense ever.
Honestly,
let's
it was
just go.
still there, though.
It was there. And the reason it was there is because we took on this mentality of just pass the baton. Every single person, when you have your at-bat, have the best at-bat you can, stick to the game plan, and pass it to the next guy. Don't try to go up there and be a hero. And the whole last week of the season, you could tell we were going up there trying to hit 5 homers, and that's impossible. Especially with nobody on base, you can't even impact the game really that much. And you could just tell, like, our butts were tight. The dugout, even the tension in the dugout.
Really?
People weren't talking as much because it just felt like we were living and dying by every single pitch. And it was like, guys, we're good enough to just go out there, be free, and play ball. And we were just living it down every pitch. And the guy struck out, and it was like, oh. It was like, no, we get 27 outs. One strikeout ain't going to impact us like that. We got 26 more.
Yeah.
But you can just tell when we were in Seattle, that was the energy we had in the dugout. I was like, dang, man, how do we get rid of that? And we go into Tampa, and it's like, man, we got to go to Tampa, and if we win this, we got to go to Baltimore is really good, and if we win that, we got to go to Houston. Those are 3 really big series.
Did you ever
against
doubt?
really tough teams. Oof.
Like,
I think there was a little doubt when Houston came in and took 3 at home. Houston, yeah, there were most definitely. The way we lost Game 5 against Houston in ALCS too was, Adolis hits the homer, gives us the lead. It's like our first lead of the home stand, and then Altuve hits that homer, and it was just like, oh my goodness.
so
That
you guys
just
are feeling the
happened.
same as us, because I've been a Rangers fan all my life. I used to work at the ballpark back in 2011, and so when I'm seeing that, I'm like, bro, I can't do this. I can't believe, you're feeling it.
Oh my, you know it's do or die time. You try to not convince you try to convince yourself it's not to try to play the best you can. But at the same time, you know when that game's over and you look up and Altuve just hit that homer, and now you're down 3-2 to the Houston team that you came in at home after switching home field advantage. You get 3 games at home up 2-0, and now you're going back to Houston, which you don't want to do because they're really good at home. You have to take 2 from them, and we end up doing it. But yeah, there was some doubt after Game 5. Golly, we're about to fly to Houston and fly right back. Man, is this what we were set out to do? Like, we've accomplished more than people thought we were going to in this season. New manager, we got really good players. Our best pitcher goes down, 6 starts into the year. We were injury plagued the whole second half, and it was just like, man, we've accomplished a lot. And then we get to Houston, and it's like, let's do this thing.
And we did this thing, bro. There was a game here. I flew literally. I came to the parade. I'm like, Red Raider with a champ. Red Raider with a champ. And so, what you've been able to do, you ignited us. It's so inspiring because we saw you here. I saw you here, and we didn't have a physical relationship here, but just to see it, it's like, damn, that's dope. Damn, it's dope what Pat's doing. Damn, it's dope what people are doing from here. When you think about your team, and for you personally, I saw the rookie kind of chart. Yeah. What kind of lights you on fire when they're
All
still
of that
doubting Mr.
All of
Johnson?
it. All of it. It all ignites the fire. It's kind of like watching that Jordan documentary, how he would kind of make stuff up to keep that flame burning.
And not to cut you off, bro, if I always do this when I'm doing an interview, I scowl somebody's, I almost borderline stalk them. On your Twitter, if you go on his Twitter, it's all posts, motivational quotes, back to 2013. And I'm like, this guy is locked in. He has, he's all mindset. So yeah,
Oh yeah, I had to get rid of my social media because I probably looked my name up on Twitter too much.
Really?
To see the negative stuff. You love the positive stuff. That lights you on fire. Then you see the negative stuff, and it lights you on fire to work harder. And it's kind of like the Jordan thing. It's you got to kind of find that reason why I need to do it right now. Why do I need to go in and work harder today? Just stuff like that. But yeah, I see all that stuff come out. And I know I had a good year. I didn't have the year I wanted to. I kind of struggled coming back from my thumb there for 10 days, but
I can't even imagine it. But can you understand, you know how the elite mindset says, I had a great year, but not the year I wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, it's the hungry for, I want to be the best version of myself I can be. And those moments where...
What does that look like for you?
Not giving at-bats away is the biggest one. Because there's at-bats where you go up there and you have a good approach, but you're not fully committed to the approach. Especially against Houston in the ALCS. I had a good playoff run, but that series against Houston, I was trying to do way too much when I didn't need to.
Yeah.
My role was to get on base and turn the lineup over, and I was trying to go up there and hit 5 run homers, and it's just not gonna happen that.
What about in your
I
life?
my game plan.
What is the best version of yourself in your personal life look like?
Oof, great question. I mean, baseball takes 9 months out of the year. I get 3 months off. But I work with a guy named Brian Kane. He's my mental conditioning coach, and we kind of have this little app, and it's like a daily checklist. And for me, it's getting the right amount of sleep. Probably not right now. It's getting the right amount of sleep every night. It's waking up, basically going through this checklist and making sure I click all these boxes every single day. And that's what the best version looks like. I'm definitely not there.
But it's off season, you just won a championship. When I always ask my guests this to close, and this has been awesome to do this for you to show up. This is dope. It's awesome. When you think about overcoming your negative voice, your mind bully, what are the practical steps that you do to overcome that voice when it's on your shoulder and you're talking to yourself? What are the steps that you work to do so?
For one, I'm a big meditation guy. I like to meditate and just silence it all. Just all I'm gonna do right now is focus on my breathing for the next 10 minutes. I use the Calm app. So there's like daily meditations on there. You know, listen to somebody's voice, whatever. But definitely meditate, breathe. But literally, I'll be laying in bed at night and that voice comes in my head, starts saying something, I'm watching highlights. That's how I get over it. I watch highlights and I'm like, no, you see, I did this.
Yeah.
And you're literally just reiterating to yourself, like, no, I did this.
Yeah.
This is possible because I do it, or I have done it, so I can continue. For me, the big thing for me is highlights.
Yeah, it's like once you get evidence, it's like I have this, like, and you speak to it. You speak to it. It's like I always say this: it's unrealistic until it's realistic, right? Until I make it happen, and it's so good. You're a man of faith. Like it's not just me making it happen.
Yeah.
The Spirit of the Lord is within me, moving beside me, with me as I do whatever I do.
Exactly.
So I know He's with me. It gives me more power, more courage. But just to end this, bro, I really appreciate you having you here as they start in 2 minutes. But thank you for your time. Thank you for joining the show.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Okay, we have about 2 more minutes before Smash Mouth goes on. I want the fellas to come on. This is the 6th show. And to end this show, I'm so grateful to do this and to be here will be something for basketball. But to overcome the negative voice has been important, and it is important in your life. Whenever you have a battle, a journey, it's important to confront that voice that silences you. To have these guys here again to close this out. Guys,
yeah.
I'm so thankful that y'all been on here. If you have any last words for this and to talk about how this has been, what do you think?
Man, it's been a great experience for me myself. I'm really grateful to be here, and I'm grateful for that lady right there blowing in my eye. She really helped me out. I promise God.
What about you,
You
Jerry?
too.
Thankful for the opportunity. Thankful to support you in this. It's been a fun ride. This football season's been crazy, but we've had a good time. We've gone all over the place, bro. But this has remained the same. That's been fun. So hopefully we get picked up for basketball.
Yeah, hopefully you do something even better.
Yes,
Even
sir.
better.
Keep it growing. Keep it fun.
We got big plans.
No matter what we do, overcoming the negative voice is important.
That's
Confront
important.
the negative voice. Check in with yourself always and every day. Till the next one. Bye.
Peace out and horns down.
Good job, boys. Good job, boys.
Hey, bro, I'm pissed, bro.
What?
You had the greatest stuff here.
That's true.